It's set in a small college town in the Midwest. They are both professors. Claire's a math professor, and her husband is an ornithology professor. He does these survivalist hikes, and he goes for a couple days at a time, and he always comes back on time, and he does not return. Um, and they have a 12-year-old son, and so it's the journey for, it's about Claire and her son, and in trying to piece things together and trying to find him. And then she really, I think that Claire really thought she knew all the variables in her life, and then realizes that she didn't. Maybe she didn't know her husband so well. Maybe she didn't know herself so well. And it's a really beautiful story. I'm very, very proud of it. For me, it was like a even bigger picture where I remember, I don't remember what age I was, where I'm like, you can ask me what I would do in that situation, and I can tell you what I think I would do. Whereas when I was younger, I was like, I know for sure what I would do. And you don't know until you're in that situation. I don't think that Claire would have guessed that she would have struggled in the way that she did, or maybe couldn't even, you know, let herself grieve in the way that she struggled with grieving, and how she reacted to the information that she, learned about her husband, things that she didn't know. I love that moment in the film when he leaves in the morning and he says, "You know me," and it's like that comes like those famous last words, right? And the film has all of that, and then there's this suspense to it that it feels like a thriller with it's like a slow burn kind of suspense instead of some huge crazy car chase. I'm sorry, we haven't shot in so a while. I still get very emotional about it. I had a moment where, because the entire time she's trying to make sense of everything. And so to me, it was, now that I've seen the film, I love watching her try and piece that together. But when we were shooting it, I would wrestle with these things because you have to make a decision as an actor as to what she believes and what her reality is. And I remember there was a moment we were hiking. It was a really long day. We were shooting in the woods and fighting the rain, and it was not an easy day. And I just had a feeling, I'm like, I know she knows he's in there. I just, like, it just became crystal clear to me that she knew where he was and that he was dead. And I think that realization was so difficult because I realized that a hope was over for her. And then I had to play that the rest of the movie. But yeah, I think probably that. A lot of great days too, and a lot of the great days were, material that was heart-wrenching material, but I trusted these directors just immensely. Immensely. I mean, I'd say it's a quiet, beautiful film. And that's exactly how I pictured it, but I couldn't, it's funny, and Annie Howell, one of the directors, she just said, thank you for trusting us and giving us so much. And I said, well, we had to, because at the time, like, you don't know what you're going to need in that moment. It's the same thing. You can think you know what you're going to need, but even just the slightest adjustment, might be the perfect moment in that scene or at that point in your story, and I trusted them immensely.